this wasn't just a teenage dispute. This was a highly coordinated street level hit. The data suggests Dominic Russo was operating as a CI, a confidential informant. Once that leaked, his circle was fractured. He got into a violent fight where he pistol whipped his brother Christopher, and for the next week, Dominic was in absolute survival mode. He was paranoid, he was unable to sleep, and frantically burying his product in the backyard because he knew he had a target on his back.
You know, every time I take a look at that woman, I think about bad breath, trailer parks, and meth usage. You know, maybe a little side of alcoholism. I don't know why I think about those things, but it just crosses my mind every time I see her. But you know, that video that you just saw made me kind of realize that I've been living in a bubble when it comes to Mackenzie Shirilla coverage. We really got people out here talking to hundreds of thousands of people spewing some bullshit. And people are right there, you know, eating that shit up like it's Skittles, bro. Like it's expired M&Ms. Just loving it. Just all here for it. And I feel like TikTok is really rotting people's brains, man. Because we got this lady out here seemingly able to make a living off of doing TikTok content on bashing the dead children's family. Ain't that some shit, right? So she does her little investigator work, right? With her teeth and her breath and all that shit, right? She gets all nitty gritty and she brings it over to her audience. But all her little investigative work is, I would say 70% trust me, bro. She might throw up a video here or a video there, but she'll say a lot of things like, data suggests that, sweetie, you are not a personal investigator and you are bad at what you're doing right now. But anyways, I don't want to get too crazy on her. Let's just see a couple of theories that she has pointed out about the whole Mackenzie Shirilla crash. And they all involve the Russo family being a piece of shit, mob ties, high-speed car chases, and a whole bunch of bullshit, right? But I think it's just that contrarian opinion that she's trying to go after. You know, everybody's on this side, so how can I stand out? Let me go on this side and say it loud and proud, and maybe I'll build some steam. And hey, it seems to be working out for her. But I got to show you some of these ridiculous theories that she's created so far. Beware of the bullshit you listen to online, folks. Let's check it out. All right, so the first thing I want to show you guys is like her big blow up video. I'm not even gonna say her name because we not supporting this fuckery, bruh. I just find it funny that there's so many gullible people out there that are willing to follow absolute bullshit because they're bored, bro. And I know it's because they're bored. Ain't no way. You just got people on their couch saying like, oh yeah, you know, well, it could have been the Russo family. Just bored weirdos. Believing some shit for believing's sake. But anyway, I want to show you this video that she posted that the shit sounds like a movie. Let's check it out.
Mackenzie Shirilla surveillance footage and the body cam simultaneously, the reality of what happened on Progress Drive becomes impossible to ignore. The state wants you to believe that this was a simple open and shut case, but the physical evidence on the tape completely shatters the story. Like, look closely at the vehicle caught on the surveillance camera passing slowly by the wreckage just 3 minutes after the impact. As it passes by the light.
Maybe the vehicular device was passing slowly. I almost said methane. That's not your name. Maybe that vehicle was moving slowly only 3 minutes later because they saw a Camry smashed into fucking pieces on the side of the road. Maybe they were like, I wonder what happened there. Should we check? Should we see if they're okay? But no, it's the mafia. We'll get there. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's figure out the mob ties in this bitch, bro. Come on now.
On the sign, The light glare reflects a distinct lighter colored body. It is absolutely not black, meaning it is not Frank's car. It perfectly matches the light colored Chrysler 300, which is Vincent's, sitting in Christine Agnello Russo's driveway. When the police arrived, and look at the psychological climate inside that exact household during the notification. When the officers asked Dominic's brother, Christopher, how he is holding up, he openly states on camera, quote, "I'm able to disassociate and have a psychotic break, and then I just don't feel sorry about it afterwards." Like, let's be completely real about what we are looking at here. I know it is incredibly hard.
On top of that, it's been proven that Chris's brother has medical issues and he had to be sent away. Dom was separated from him. He was living in a different room. They had issues, right? It wasn't because they wanted him to be hurt. I don't know. I just feel like these theories are going all over the place. I don't even understand where she's going from this point on. But let's get through this manic rant that she has, because we have another one that's going to be even better. It's going to tie to this.
To process or truly grasp the fact that organized groups and local mafia operations actually exist right in our backyards. You think that this is this kind of calculated pressure and silencing only happens in the movies, but it doesn't. This is real life. Dominic was caught up in it. Davion was caught up in it. And Mackenzie was definitely caught up in it. She still is. Surviving a catastrophic crash only to be turned into a legal scapegoat to protect their network. When you connect that lighter vehicle drive-by and the brothers' chilling admission to the fact that they filed an urgent corporate restructuring, my fault, for Pearl Cleaning LLC just 5 days before the crash. The inside game is fully exposed. They used a 17-year-old girl's medical amnesia and rigged bench trial to sell a toxic relationship narrative, completely shielding the local network from scrutiny. I am not making accusations. Okay, all
right. Let's pause this again. Let's pause this. So basically, Dom was connected to this organization, right? And she's going to get deeper into this. He was connected to this organization and he started snitching, is what we understand. And the only way to protect the family and their organization was to what? Blame everything on Mackenzie? Did they even... Maybe they had something to do with Dom dying themselves. Oh my God. Oh, because the brother said he's able to disassociate and he just doesn't really care right now. Oh my God. What if the family wanted to get rid of their own son because they have this big network sweeping over the town of Strongsville? Lady, I think you're starting to see ghosts at this point. When's the last time you went to sleep? When's the last time you got some shut-eye? Because these theories are... Okay, but let's just roll with this theory because it gets way better. The car crashes and somebody behind them slowly passes and scopes out the scenery to make sure they're dead, right? Let's continue and let's see the rest of this theory, because now they may have been followed by somebody. Hold on.
Explained simply. This wasn't just a teenage dispute. This was a highly coordinated street level hit. The data suggests Dominic Russo was...
And there she goes with that data, you know? I don't even trust anybody who calls data. I don't really trust you for real. You're a Neanderthal sorry. You're a Neanderthal probably. The data suggests... Listen, okay. So now this is a street level hit. There's a street level hit. We don't know if it was Dom's family who was involved in this street level hit. We don't know if it's neighboring families that may have been involved in this hit. But guess what? The data suggests that this was a street level hit. So we're just gonna believe her. We're gonna believe Methany. I forgot her name. It's not Methany. Her name isn't Methany. We're going to believe this young lady right here because the data suggests. Let's keep going, though. The street level hit. The car moving away slowly 3 minutes after the crash. Everything is coming together. Let's keep going.
Plain simply. This wasn't just a teenage dispute. This was a highly coordinated street level hit.
Yes.
The data suggests Dominic Russo was operating as a CI, confidential informant. Once that leaked, his circle.
The data suggests that Dom was operating as a CI, a confidential informant. Holy shit. Somebody write that down, because that's something I never heard. But write that down. They're lying to us. Okay, they wrote that down. Let's keep going.
Was fractured. He got into a violent fight where he pistol whipped his brother Christopher, and for the next week, Dominic was in absolute survival mode. He was paranoid, he was unable to sleep, and frantically burying his product in the backyard because.
So you see how she tied that to Christopher, saying that, you know, whether or not whatever happened, he disassociates a lot, so he doesn't care, right? It's all intertwined, folks. Dom was a CI, and the family may have turned against him. Oh my God. You know, there's got to be an illegal element to this. I guess we have freedom of, we could say whatever the fuck we want to say because we live in America, but damn it. Somebody might end up getting sued over this shit. I'm just saying. Let me back this up real quick, because now Dom is pistol whipping people, running for his life. He's a CI. He's hiding his drugs in the backyard, even though the most I've ever seen on him was a 1/4 ounce of weed. Everything, it's really bad out here. It's like training day in this bitch. Now hold on, listen. You might want to take the word from AG Tactical with our new sponsor today called Money Pilot. All right. Money Pilot's an app that you could download on your phone that allows you to claim class action lawsuits that you're eligible for. And it's automatic. I always bring up Yahoo with the class action lawsuit that was able to net me $325 just by looking into it. So if you guys are interested, make sure you go download it. And I'm pretty sure you're going to like it.
Dominic Russo was operating as a CI, confidential informant. Once that leaked, his circle was fractured. He got into a violent fight where he pistol whipped his brother Christopher, and for the next week, Dominic was in absolute survival mode. He was paranoid, he was unable to sleep, and frantically burying his product in the backyard because he knew he had a target on his back.
He had the target because of the police and and he was a CI, and guns and drugs and Grand Theft Auto and violence and stuff. Yeah, I'm following you so deeply right now. Let's keep going.
Of the tragedy, the night before the tragedy, they were hanging out at Paul's house, and a witness remembers a strange car sitting at the dead end, just waiting. Not a cul-de-sac, the dead end. It spooked everyone, and everyone went inside. Dominic ended up texting his dad saying, "I love you, Dad." Hours later, they left. The timeline shows they were actively being chased. And
the timeline shows, listen, and there are people, I'm not gonna leave the comments open, because there are a lot of lost souls in that comment section that believe this bullshit. The girl is making this shit up as she goes along. She's fitting her own story with the facts that she has. Oh, and the data will show that they were being chased by said mysterious car. They were being chased by a mysterious man. Get the fuck out of here. The data suggests that. The timeline shows. Sweetie, lay off of whatever you're on. If you're on something, respectfully, lay off of that shit. It's not doing you no favors. And it's making you look like you're 50. That was mean. Let's keep going.
Down by another vehicle. Not like chased all the way. I'm not saying high speed.
Oh, let me back this up. I know I'm pausing hella. I'm doing heli pauses, but this story is outrageous to me.
It spooked everyone, and everyone went inside. Dominic ended up texting his dad saying, "I love you, Dad." Hours later, they left. The timeline shows they were actively being chased and ran down by another vehicle. Not like chased all the way. I'm not saying high-speed chase.
They weren't chased all the way, because we would have seen that on the cameras and it would have proven that they were being chased. So in order for my story to make sense, they weren't being chased like all the way. They're only chased until they turn onto that street, and the chase ended, but they were still running.
They needed to be eliminated. Mackenzie pinned the accelerator flat to the floor in pure panic to escape the threat. They all realized the crash was unavoidable, they tried to jump away from the driver's side over to Dominic's side so that the left panel would absorb the blow. Mackenzie violently yanked the wheel, or Davion or Dominic, and she threw herself toward the passenger side. That is exactly why her head and her left arm are pinned directly underneath the crushed.
But yet she can't remember any of this shit. Man, this might be Mackenzie's long lost best friend. When Mackenzie gets out of jail, she better go hang out with Shorty, because she is telling a story of fibs and fables and bullshit on behalf of somebody she don't even know. You are saying with conviction what happened in that car, even though none of us know exactly what was said or done in that car. No, but you see, Mackenzie pulled the wheel, or Dom, or Davion, and then she jumped on the right side of the panel to avoid the impact because they knew that the crash was unavoidable. Mind you, there's a mafia man trying to murder us that's 2 minutes behind. But no, the story doesn't make sense. It sounds like a meth-fueled memory. It sounds like a meth-fueled psychosis that you come back to reality with, and you still remember those stories that never actually happened. Now, I'm not saying that she likes to do meth. I'm just saying that it sounds like a meth fuel story. You understand what I'm saying?
Dashboard. She survived by a miracle of centimeters. Mackenzie's survival threw the entire network into a panic. And what I mean, Christine. And to protect her
Christine.
circle
Yes.
and secure Dominic's life insurance, they delayed the investigation. They literally waited for William Ellis to get out of jail before turning over Dominic's phone, because other people were actively communicating on Ellis's device. We know this. And they needed that digital footprint hidden. I don't believe his mom, Christine, is some massive criminal kingpin or queenpin. She's a pawn who is only there because she's useful to the network. And unfortunately, this situation
She's a pawn because she's only useful to the network. So again, to kind of scrub her story a little bit, they were chased, but not really chased. Miss Russo, she's a drug kingpin, but not really a drug kingpin. She's just like a pawn. She's just little time. You know why she's doing all those little side caveats and shit? It's because she knows her story's bullshit. And if anybody were to look into it, maybe somebody from Ohio who knows the real story, they're going to call her out on her bullshit. So she has to put in a little, she's not really a kingpin. They weren't really being chased. There was a mysterious car, but we'll never know. But you're picking up what I'm putting down, right? There's a network, but there's not really a network. This bitch is out here scratching and scraping for views, and it's kind of depressing.
Exactly something that she's needed for. Meanwhile, Dominic's best friend, Blair, immediately took Dominic's place in the game, driving Angela's car with Christopher in the passenger seat. And on body cam, Christopher tells the police he's able to disassociate and have an episode with zero remorse. And then privately, he texts Mackenzie, "It's my fault. It's my fault. I'm sorry." Politically, the timing was perfect. Cuyahoga County was heading into a cutthroat judicial primary election season. The prosecutor's office desperately...
Okay, I genuinely cannot handle her voice anymore. And we have 2 more videos to go through, so I'm going to cut that right there. Holy shit. Somebody give her a cigarette, please. Who got a cigarette so she could smoke that shit? Calm down the rasp in her voice, you know what I'm saying? Shit, I got you a menthol, sweetie. Do you smoke those? Don't worry. What you into? God damn it! Somebody pass her the yeah. Anyway, we got something else, right? So not only is the Russo family horrible people and mob bosses, and they have people after them, and Dom was a snitch of all things. Woohoo! On top of this, she's gonna lie and say that they weren't trying to pull the steering wheel or get her to stop driving. They were trying to jump in front of Mackenzie to protect her before impact. They were giving their lives, both of them, for Mackenzie. You know, I feel like, again, I feel like there's a certain level of lawsuit that's coming this person's way. Just saying. But let me show you this.
One recording that the state used at the trial, the one about Mackenzie keying Dominic's car because he wouldn't let her inside of their shared home. The whole internet uses that clip to act like she's this calculating mastermind. But
Oh, I forgot about this too. We all know about the video where Mackenzie's threatening to come inside the house. She even has a spin on. She has a spin for that. The metadata doesn't make sense. Therefore, the video must be invalid. But she'll explain it for us.
Nobody actually looked at the screen or the receipts. Let's use basic common sense here. First of all, look at the recording. Don't listen to the shouting. Don't listen to the arguing. Look at it. In the reflection, the phone that he's on.
As an editor and a video creator of years, I know a bad cut when I see one. Shorty didn't know what to say. This is something that you do when you're trying to convince yourself that the story that you're covering is real too. Like, she don't believe not a goddamn thing she's saying. You hear that? You had to cut a couple of times to make that one convincing, huh? Well, shit.
You can see or the receipts. Let's use basic common sense here. First of all, look at the recording. Don't listen to the shouting. Don't listen to the arguing. Look at it. In the reflection, the phone that he's on, you can see Dominic.
Oh my God.
Obviously, you know, he's holding the phone with one hand, and his other hand is completely free, not holding anything. Like, he goes like this. I'll show all of it at the end. So, what's he using to record? What is actually recording? Then you look at the digital timestamps, and the math goes completely out the window. The metadata says the first video starts at 6:34 p.m. and lasts almost 7 minutes. But the second video says it starts at 6:37 p.m. How can a 7-minute video have another video starting right in the middle of it? To top it off, when the video actually plays, the clock
I don't even think that's how metadata works. It's going to give you all the information for your time, location for that video. There's no such thing as a video recording separate metadata from another video at the same time. That doesn't make any sense. Maybe I'm just not the tech genius that I think I am, but that doesn't make any, like, what she said essentially doesn't make any sense. Like, that's not even possible. You can't start two videos and make them work at the same time. So basically what she's trying to say to those, probably trying to make people who don't understand, she's trying to say that there's two sets of metadata within the same video. That doesn't even make sense. But it's the little TikTok, and again, I'm not Mr. Technical, but that's how I believe it. That's what I believe it means. But then you're gonna see somebody on TikTok like, ooh, see, they're splicing videos together. They're slicing videos. I mean, it's brain dead, bro. We really live in a time where people, you could say that shit is chocolate, and there's gonna be somebody out there, you're gonna show them a picture of the shit that you just had, and they're gonna believe that shit is chocolate. We live in a world where you could get somebody to believe anything. What do they say about the salesman thing? Like, you could sell a woman in a white wedding dress with white gloves a ketchup packet. That's how it feels nowadays, man. People are idiots. But anyways, let's keep going.
The screen says 6:35, not 6:34. The digital files are completely chopped up, but this is the absolute drop.
Wow, boom.
The phone says this was recorded on July 21st, and they're talking about going to dinner with Dominic's family, or his grandparents. But the state's own star witness, Christine, literally put it out there that the grandparents left town on July 17th, I believe. Think about that. How are you recording a video about...
What if they got back already? What if they left town for a couple of days and got back? Oh my God. is so much possibility. Like, that doesn't even mean anything. Wow, they're out of town for a few days. That means it couldn't have happened. It's inconceivable. It's inconceivable. This lady, man, somebody get her private investigator license immediately. What are we doing with her? Not the world is the worst place without her having her PI license, okay?
Going to dinner with grandparents on the 21st when said grandparents packed their bags and left 4 days before. It's a total lie.
I don't make.
My
It doesn't
question
make
is,
sense.
why was it safer for them to hand this phone over through William Ellis, a convicted drug offender who just got out of prison 2 weeks before? Because remember, the judge was looking at the exact same things that we are.
Yes.
Like before you lie.
Man, if we don't free Mackenzie Shirilla right now, bro, if we don't free this young lady, man, free her. I'm so mad at just the way the world treats just innocent young ladies from Ohio, Strongsville. She was caught up, guys. It was a network. The Russos, come on, she was caught up. Right? Bro, I had no idea this girl existed, bro. And she is cooking on TikTok. She got herself her whole little army and shit. Oh my goodness. She is cooking, boy. Goes to show how many idiots there are. I'm gonna show you one more video, right? Because it just continues to compound upon itself on how crazy this lady really is. Allegedly. Let's keep going.
Guilty at all, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm not going to argue with you. So based off of Davion's Life 360, it shows that it was high speed down that entire road. But we also know that that is not.
Why are you so hyped up? Number one, and why is there a little?
I'm not going to argue with.
Why are there multiple scratches on the side of your cheek? Why are you so hyped though? You're giving me that energy, right? You're giving me some of that energy that I recognize. I'm not saying that you are doing it, but calm down is all I'm saying. Relax. Taking some air. Didn't that feel good? Like a nice deep breath. Calm down.
So based off of Davion's Life 360, it shows that it was high speed down that entire road. But we also know that that is not like correct. We know this because it shows them on the other road on the other side, and it also shows hard braking on top of that building. So you need to not even look at that. What you need to look at is the fact that she turned onto Progress from Pearl at 5:38 a.m. and 52 seconds. The wall hit was 5:39 a.m. and 42 seconds. It took her exactly 50 seconds from the beginning of that road to the wall hit.
Yes.
Now, if she's going 100 miles per hour, 95 miles per hour, the entire road, it would have taken her approximately 25 seconds.
Well, nobody said she was going 100 miles an hour the entire road. The black box data shows that she was flooring it the entire way until impact for those 4 or 5 seconds, right? And there's video footage to prove that she probably was flooring it before the black box turned on. Nobody's saying that she was flooring it since they turned from the road. We can see from the video that she wasn't flooring it. And you know what that also shows is that your other theory from your other video is bullshit. I thought they were being chased, but not like that. But I thought they were being chased. Why wouldn't she at least be going 45 around that corner? A little skirt. You know what I'm saying? Skirt. Let me get away from this motherfucker. No. She pulled that curve at 10 miles an hour. We know the bitch wasn't driving the shit 100 miles per hour the entire way down. Let's continue.
To get to the end. And what we do see is the last 5 seconds. My other videos were incorrect because I was basing it off of expert testimonies, and they are false. At TRG5, when it first starts, 142 degree steering, yes, that's correct. And then 88 degrees and negative and 25 degrees. And then it's a left. And right before that, there's another significant hard right turn. 3 of them, 3 significant turns.
This is where she brings up that they were trying to save her life. What a narcissistic piece of shit, right? Well, I mean, she's not narcissistic if she's saying it for Mackenzie, but it's like you're narcissistic for Mackenzie almost. What's that called?
Okay, and then you look at the yaw rate where the 142 is. You can clearly see the car is starting to spin. It's starting to spin. Now look up at the very top at 4.25 seconds. The
Now
car
she's talking about yaw rate like she even understands what the fuck that is. All I know, that has something to do with like the direction in which the car is turning and shit. And it's like you could calibrate it on certain. I don't really know what the fuck, but she's talking like she's Miss Mechanic and she knows what that shit means though. The yaw was spinning out of control. The yaw was turning east and west and north, and it was clear that the car was spinning out. Man, if you there's so many. That's the one thing I never claim to be an expert about anything, but there are so many experts online and it's crazy, bro. Experts.
steering goes crazy. The yaw goes crazy.
The
All right?
yaw
This is where she
goes
starts going
crazy.
up. And from 45 miles per hour to 100 miles per hour. It's in the crash reconstruction report. I don't know how I missed it, but it takes her car approximately 5 to 7 seconds to get up to that speed. All right. And looking at the positions that they were all found in, everybody says that they were found like that because they were trying to save themselves. But then physical evidence, everything shows that they had no reaction to this. There was no reaction. However, they were both stacked on top of Mackenzie underneath of the airbags, which shows they were trying to protect her. And the families need to know this. I don't know about the Russos. I don't know if they care, but I do know that Davion Flanagan's parents need to know that they did a damn good job because they tried to save her. They tried to save her. And again, I have proof from Mackenzie's nutritionist at this time that Dominic was 100.
As a parent, I'm not trying to hear that shit at all. I'd probably spit on you. I'll take the assault charge. As a parent, you know what I mean? I'll spit on you. Don't you dare tell me that my son was trying to protect that demon spawn. And, you know, rest assured to the majority of you guys out there, I highly doubt they were trying to do that. But she has the receipts because she was able to, you know, get locked in with Mackenzie's nutritionist or some shit, right? So we should definitely listen to this girl. She has the receipts.
% good job because they tried to save her. They tried to save her. And again, I have proof from Mackenzie's nutritionist at this time that Dominic was 100% involved in her POTS, in her health, and all of this. All right, and I know I look very emotional in this, but this is emotional. This is emotional.
Yeah, it looks like you just, never mind.
Because from the beginning, from Christine Russo's interview where they said about the defense attorney, about her suing if she doesn't get moved to adult court, about talking about
holy shit, right guys? Damn it, that's crazy. I'm gonna cut it right there because my brain started like for the past minute I just couldn't hear what the fuck she was saying. It's like I think that's why I didn't really do good in certain classes because, you know, my brain would shut down because I'm tired of hearing that bullshit. That's how it feels with her. Like I physically can't hear you no more. You just sound like noise. That's all I'm hearing. So I'm going to stop it right there. I think that's my brain telling me I've had enough for today. You know what I mean? But make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, do all the YouTube shit, hype the video, do all that cool shit. There is a bit of a rabbit hole down on TikTok, and we're about to explore it. Make sure you double like this bitch. Don't do that because you'll just end up unliking it. Make sure you like this shit if you want to see some more of the Mackenzie Shirilla coverage on TikTok because they have lost it over there. But until then, gang, stay inside, stay safe, stay tuned. Don't be a dumbass. I'll see you soon. Peace.